Welcome, everybody. It is the Tapped In 209. My name is Drew Smith. I'm here with Alvin and Carson Mudliard. Um, so we're here. We are based out of Stockton, California. Um, really, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking high school ball, and that's what we do. We're going to be football, basketball, baseball. We're going to cover you guys throughout the entire year. All your favorite teams going from TCal to the VOL, and as long as the SJAA. All three leagues will be covered. How are you guys doing today?
Good, good. How are you, Drew?
Doing well. Carson, how you
I'm
doing?
pretty good. I'm pretty good.
I think we're ready to talk some football. So we're going to start with. We got games coming up this week. It's week one. A lot of teams had. I know a lot of teams had their scrimmages over this last week. I know that we. I mean, we're St. Mary's fans, so we follow them a little bit more than other teams, but we're gonna try and keep it as even as possible. But St. Mary's went up to Folsom over the weekend and went out and scrimmaged up against Folsom and Rider Lions. Had to have been a good time, I'm assuming.
Yep.
I hear he did pretty well this weekend. You know, qualified source told me ball just comes firing out of his hands. It's unreal how quick, how big this kid is and how quickly the ball comes out of his hand. He's built like a linebacker. If you watched him in the state championship game for basketball, I mean, the kid took on one of the best, guards in our area and shut him down. So, he's a very talented athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you see that from a lot of the NFL quarterbacks, like a guy like Josh Allen. He's built like a
Mhm.
linebacker. He's just huge. And when you
Yep.
have the throwing power, that's just like it just adds on.
Yep. Yep.
So we're gonna get started here. Um, our first line of business is just kind of like top five students we want to look forward to during the year for football, at least. Carson, how'd you start us off with number one?
All right. Number one, uh, his name's Kenneth Moore the third. He plays at St. Mary's, and he's a UCLA commit, and he's also top 300 in ESPN.
Yeah, senior wide receiver from there. Like we said, we watched
Mhm.
them a lot, and just watching him from his freshman year to now, like it is ridiculous how much skill this guy has. And
Yep,
him,
he's grown a lot.
yeah, and him
Hmm.
committing to UCLA at the end of last year, it's gotta be a lot of pressure off of his back on where he wants to go. And he's just gonna go out and he's gonna ball. He played actually with Rider Lions over the break in their
I
7-on-7.
believe on the cohorts, correct?
Yeah. And like he's just balling out. It's just a guy that balls out.
Hmm.
So speaking of another guy that balls out, over at Chavez, the sophomore Elijah Walker, he was all league offensive first team and also having a 4.0 GPA as a freshman. Like this kid absolutely balled out last year for Chavez. So he's taken it. I believe they won the SJA last year for football. So as a freshman going through and just dominating all the teams such as Tokay and Western Ranch, Bear Creek, Stag, Franklin, all those schools like straight up balled as a freshman, and there's just not much. He trained over at Elevate at Stock 209 CrossFit,
Hmm.
and he's just I
Hmm.
I grew up with him actually. I went there for a while when I was a freshman back in high school. And he's always just been like he's not necessarily a tall kid, but his mind is so smart on where he's throwing the ball, and he rarely makes a mistake.
Fantastic.
Go ahead, number three.
Number three from Stag, Antoine Williford, a senior linebacker, 5'9", 205 pounds. This is the league defensive player of the year and Stockton Unified School District football player of the year.
Yeah, this
Um,
this kid he's huge coming out of Stag, huge, and he's just nobody gets in his way. And if you're in his way, you got to get out of his way.
yeah.
So it takes a lot to win that SUSD Football Player of the Year, and he definitely deserved it for especially obviously you get that League Defensive Player of the Year as well. Over at number four, out of Oakdale, we have the senior running back, the Air Force commit, Wes Bierford. He was the All Sac Joaquin section first team running back and All State second team honors. This kid carried Oakdale last year.
Hmm.
It's just a guy that puts his head down and he's going to run through you. He's not necessarily tall, but he has that stocky build to him, and he's just going to put his head down and run through you. That's a very tough football league to play in as well. With teams
Yeah.
like Manteca, that's always good, and teams
Ooh.
like Central Catholic, they're just always good at football, and this kid dominates the field. Finishing up at Edison, the senior wide receiver slash free safety, Langdon Horace, Cal Berkeley commit. He is going to be a monster at the receiver position, especially when he has Devin Rasmussen, the transfer from St. Mary's. He went over to Edison, and he also balled out last year for them. Um, and I mean, when you have, I watched Devin. He also trained with me, and he has an arm. That guy can rifle the ball.
He was a originally recruited by St. Mary's,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
And decided to transfer after his freshman year, I
Freshman year, I
believe.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he's now at Edison, and he gets throw the ball to Langdon Horace. And Horace isn't just an offensive monster. He's a defensive guy. It's very hard to get the ball by him.
Gotcha.
At that free safety spot, he's a ball hawk. Like that's just what he is. He's gonna lay you out.
Good.
He's gonna get some interceptions. I mean, there's a reason he's committed to Cal.
Yeah. Huh. I heard that he may have had a visit to Stanford as well.
He did, yes, before committing to Cal.
Okay.
He had that
Okay.
Stanford
So the
visit.
Cal thing must be pretty
Very
recently.
new, very,
Okay.
very new. I believe
Gotcha.
like
You got the inside
within
track.
the last week or two, if I
Oh, okay.
like very,
Hmm.
very new.
Yeah, the date I'm seeing is June 6th. So this you are on top of it,
So
Mr. Smith. So all right.
so those are our top five guys that I personally and I believe you guys would agree on, like guys that we got to look out for this year. Like all four seniors and a sophomore, and these guys are just gonna ball, and no matter who they play against, they're gonna dominate the field. It's
Right.
just how it is for them.
Awesome.
So whoever they play, we'll shout them out every week. We're going to be keeping a little bit of a closer eye on these guys and all their stats throughout the year. Carson, why don't you take us into our TCal games?
All right. So we have St. Mary's versus Bishop Minogue. That's on August 22nd at 7 p.m. And unfortunately, St. Mary's lost last year to them Reno 21-14. This year is a home opener for the Rams, surprisingly. And with ESPN's top 300 player and UCLA commit at wideout Kenneth Moore III, the Rams are looking for revenge.
I remember that game last year. I think it was really windy and really raining, and St. Mary's just couldn't get it going at the during that game. Cold, raining. So hopefully bounce back. Season opener for them today. I think they're led by Jaden Galvez. This is the
Jaden Gal-
quarterback, and
yeah, Jaden
should
Galvon.
Galvan. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm
Galvin. Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, yeah.
and should be ready to go this year. St. Mary's is always is loaded, in their offense, so it should be make for an interesting year.
Absolutely. Like when you bring up the rain and everything, it's so hard to get the passing game going. And then when that just automatically takes out a receiver like Kenneth Moore. And when they had Osani Gales last year too, transferred
Yeah,
over to IMG
Hmm.
Academy. But you take those two guys out of the game, like you can't just St. Mary's doesn't rely on their run game as much anymore.
right,
And so that was just how it was. But hopefully this year's is a new start. Love to start 1-0, feeling good. This year, obviously, they get to have it at home, which they don't have to worry about the travel part.
right,
So that'll take us right into our next game, also on Friday. But this one starts at 7:15. Lodi versus Troke.
right,
Early rivalry,
right out the gate.
Hmm.
Big rivalry game for these
big
guys.
rivalry, very
They're both
early.
from Lodi. Great.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a great
Lodi.
game.
Yep, Lodi shut them out last year.
Yeah,
Um,
13-0.
13-0. Sean Tates is their tight end. He's also a basketball player. Plays with his brother Drew. Made playoffs last year. And they're looking to get the same start as last year. Last year, Tates had 23 passes, 357 yards, and two touchdowns. Um, and should be an interesting game for an opening weekend
Yeah, with
in
how
Lodi.
yeah, with how Lodi runs their offense, he he fits that offense so well. They run that wing formation or whatever it is with those two running backs in the back, and they're either going to pitch it, run it up the middle, or just throw him on a seam route right up the
Right.
middle. And that's just what he does. He balls. They don't throw the ball a lot, but when they do, it's going to go to him.
Yeah.
He was a
Mhm.
first team offense last year for Lodi as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Big boy.
Very, very
Big
big
boy.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, dad actually, Chris Tate's played college ball, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think he played in the bigs somewhere. I'm not sure, but I know he played college ball. Good athlete in high school.
Hey, runs in the family is
So,
what I'm hearing.
yes, yes, good athletes in that family.
Moving on
So,
to our third game this week, we got Kimball versus EU going to uh, East Union. Kimball did lose this one 28-14 last year in their home opener and is trying to take it this year and ruin EU's home opener. Their senior utility player of the year, Josiah Wilson, is looking to get the ball rolling early for Kimball. He's a quarterback and the safety, and pretty much plays everywhere else. He can be your running back, he can be your receiver, he can be your corner, he can be your linebacker. This guy is a true utility guy, just a guy that loves to play ball and plays hard.
awesome. All right.
Yeah, just a pure athlete right there.
Okay.
Another rivalry, Tracy versus West. This one will start at 7 o'clock on Friday. Um, and it's another old T-Cal matchup between these two.
Yeah.
Bulldogs are looking to do exactly what they did last year. I believe last year was a 49-7 win, maybe 49-6, something along the lines of that.
Hmm.
And it was just pure domination by Tracy, and they're going to try and do it again at home. They have all league offensive second team receiver David Golarty. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. He should be more than enough for Tracy to win this game. They're also a very run heavy team, but they can do damage through the air. Take us away for our
Gotcha.
last one, Carson.
All right. Next game, Lincoln versus McNair. It's also on the 22nd at 7 p.m. And Lincoln, they're looking for a great start for this year. They have different um excuse me. Having played against the SJ co-MVP and Corey Waiters is going to be difficult and going to be a great watch actually. Can't wait to
Yeah,
watch that game.
For McNair, the SJA co MVP, in Corey Waiters or Waters, like he balled out for SJA. Like he's the reason why he's the co MVP
I,
over
I
there.
believe I believe this is Coach Lateef Grimm's first game as Lincoln's head coach.
It is,
Coach
yes.
Coach Grimm was the head coach. Before this, he was the receivers coach at Cal Poly, and I believe before that he was the head coach at Kimball, and led them to a championship. Coach Grimm played at University of Pittsburgh, I believe, local product from Bear Creek and Franklin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe those are the two that he went to, and then went on and played after playing at Pitt. Went on to play for the Lions.
Yep.
And he's just I had the great opportunity to work with him when I was talking about working with Devin Rasmussen. We were both worked and trained with Coach Grimm, and he is just a guy, and
Fantastic.
his football mind is great. He's going to be a great addition for Lincoln this year. Like you said, that's going to be his first one. I think it's going to be a great game this week. It's a great opener
Yeah.
for Lincoln. New coach, they're going to pack the stands, just how it is.
Oh yeah.
And then you get to have the co MVP there. It's going to show what Lincoln can play football when they're good.
Yep.
And so it's going to be tough. Edison does have the week one bye, so just kind of it for them. Uh, I think just we just want to go over TCal just real quick as a league itself. I don't see anybody maybe besides Edison that's going to be a problem for St. Mary's this year. I mean, we can see how Coach Grimm does in these first couple of weeks with Lincoln, but on paper, nobody really competes.
Right.
I
I
don't
agree with you.
I don't see Lee going any different than it did last year,
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
at least standings wise.
I think it's going to be the St. Mary's Edison. It's
Right.
going to come down to that game decision.
Absolutely.
So, all
So,
right.
yeah, we can move on to our we're gonna move over to the SJAA. Starting off with Chavez versus Pacheco, also on the 22nd, 7 o'clock. Chavez did have a rough start last year. They started 0-2, and their second game of the year was against Pacheco, losing 16 to 14. But they do have the guy that we talked about at the beginning of the show, Elijah Walker. He's looking to bounce back, as well as having the senior offensive lineman of the year in Vernon Hall. Like those
Mm,
two is a dynamic duo. You have him in front of you. Like there's a reason why Elijah Walker was so good last year is because he could sit in the pocket and right behind Vernon Hall the whole year.
interesting. All right.
So Chavez is at home for this one. Um, and they're just looking to start off well against Pacheco. It's just how it's going to be.
Oh,
Carson, go ahead and take us off.
Next game we have Stag at Liberty Ranch, also on 22nd at 7 p.m. And after starting last year 0-3 before league play and losing to Liberty Ranch week one, 40-21, big blowout, senior league defensive player of the year and SUSD football player of the year, Antoine Williford, and new head coach, Eric Crocker, looks to start differently and beat Liberty Ranch on the road.
Yeah, if I remember about Coach Crocker, he was at a I want to say Chavez last year,
hmm.
or maybe Franklin, somewhere around the lines of that, like another SJA school just moved over. But I know I don't know him personally, but I know Coach Crocker is a very good coach. I have seen how that stag practices ran, and it's ran pretty much to perfection. Doesn't give no slack on anybody. He wants perfection out of this team. And when you have Antoine Williford that we talked about at the beginning of the show as well, like they're gonna have a chance to dominate and compete for the SJA championship.
Yeah, I'm hearing some good things out of Stag
Yeah,
coming through the pipes. I mean, it's been a while since, Stag football's been on the map, but I'm hearing, people talk about them. So it should be a very interesting season in the SJ2A this year
yeah. I
for that.
think Coach
I mean,
Coach
hopefully we can
Crocker,
put it together, this year.
absolutely. Yeah, I think Coach
So,
Crocker just elevates that program. He's just
right.
one of those coaches. Franklin versus Galt also starting at 7 o'clock. Franklin's looking to start off the year right with the tally in the win column. Having the SJAA defensive back of the year in Gio Hurley, and he's coming back for his senior year to help out the Yellow Jackets stop this Galt offense. I mean, there's not really much to say more about Franklin in general. I mean,
Right.
they
So,
have the DB, but it's just like they're just hanging in there.
I mean, this is another one of those teams, from back in the day where, they were a powerhouse and, haven't really been able to put it together the past, 10 to 15 years. And, hopefully they can, make the right moves and get back into the glory days.
It's just how, yeah, just
So,
kind of figuring things out right now. It's
yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of how it is for them.
So,
We already talked about these two earlier in Weston Tracy and Tokay and Lodi. It was last year's score was 47-6 for that West Tracy game. West does have their all league offensive first team in Alec Alexeo Vakauta. Hopefully I said that
close
right.
enough.
But he leads that O line. Um, they they like to run the ball. They also like to throw the ball. That West
Yeah,
team does. So hopefully he can help out this O line just a little bit. Maybe they're going to be able to compete for because rivalry games bring out some kids just
right,
perform better in those high state games, and those
right.
games can end up being close. Same thing for Tokay and Lodi. Um, Tokay had 5 players winning their all league first or second team defensive award last year, and I think
Mm,
one on the offensive side. They're
yeah.
gonna go into Lodi's house in the Great Bowl. I believe that's what it's right.
Yep.
Um, but I mean, the defense is fine for Tokay. They bring all those guys back.
Yeah.
Um, their defense is fine. Like they only gave up 13 points. It's just if the offense is going to be able to do anything in this game.
Yeah. So.
That's what we have there. Bear Creek and Western Ranch are on a bye for their week 1 games. So I think believe they both have week 2 games though. Now, finally, our final league is going to be the VOL. Oh, if we want to talk about actually SJ, how we think it's going to end up, I have Chavez at the top as with Stag at the 2.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
Sprinkle a little Tokay and West in there, and Franklin finishing at the bottom. Like I think that's just where it is.
Huh.
I don't
Okay.
know if you guys have anything else.
I don't. It's a little early to
Yeah, it's
tell,
too early to say anything for
Too
sure.
early to
Yeah.
say anything.
Absolutely.
So, who won the league last year? Chavez won?
Chavez did.
Okay. Okay.
So,
So, I mean, and you're returning your quarterback, your all league quarterback, so it's hard to bet against him per se.
especially when he's a sophomore.
Yes, you're a sophomore on varsity. There's a reason he's there. So,
Yeah. So it was Chavez and then McNair last year.
okay.
McNair finished in that 2 spot.
I mean,
Um
personally, I'd like to see Bear Creek make a run. I mean, that is my alma mater, but you
yeah,
know, they they're always at the point of making the playoffs, but then something happens.
right. Yeah.
So either they get a hot start and just fizzle out, or they don't get a good start and they can't put it together.
Hmm.
But I'm hoping they can really get it, put the pieces together soon.
Yeah, I mean Bear Creek didn't win a game last year, so like
Yeah,
it's just how it was for them.
Yeesh.
yeah.
Um I did forget to mention McNair. Obviously, we talked about them. They're playing against Lincoln for week 1 and they got Corey Waters. Like I again with I think it's going to be a great game. Like
Hmm.
if your team doesn't play this week, as in like Bear Creek and Western Ranch and Edison,
Yeah,
that's probably the game to go to. Is Lincoln McNair is
yeah.
because like I think it's just going to be that good of a game.
Awesome.
So so now we're officially going to move on to the VOL. Manteca Elk Grove. After stomping the Thundering Herd last year in a 49-7 win, now they get to play them in the comfort of their own home. And they still get Nico Juarez on the ground and Quinn Martinez through the air, running back and wide receiver duo right there. Um, I think Elk Grove is just gonna have to pick their poison for this game. On
Hmm.
if they're gonna sell out through the air, then they're gonna have a lot of Nico Juarez.
Right.
If they're gonna pack the box, they're gonna have to try and defend Quinn Martinez. Like it's just how it's gonna be one or the other
Yeah.
for them. Um, Nico Juarez was the All Sac Joaquin section offensive second team. And Quinn Martinez, he was on my radar a little bit. He has a lot of very big offers from
Okay.
schools.
Hmm.
So go ahead, take us away, Carson, for number 2.
All right. Central Catholic versus Pleasant Valley. The Raiders are coming into this home opener looking to start just like how they did last year against Pleasant Valley with the win. Last year's game was a close one, 28-21. And honestly, I can see that this one's going to go the same way. Not much has changed about Central Catholic, you know.
No, they're always good. Like they're
Hmm.
always there. Like
They're
they
really solid
compete.
program, really solid
Absolutely.
school.
Yeah, they compete every time. I don't know too much about Pleasant Valley like at all.
Me neither.
But I mean, I can't imagine Central Catholic is like we said is always a great program and
Hmm.
they can dominate at the line because that's where they have a lot of big guys at the line. Their O line and D line dominate every time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So Patterson versus Merced. Patterson did win this one last year, 39-21, and they're gonna obviously look to do the same thing this year. Um, Merced is their home opener, and hopefully they can get any sort of motivation on their side. It's gonna be hard for Merced to win this one after losing so badly last year. So multiple touchdowns last year.
Hmm. All right.
Moving on to East Union and Kimball. We talked about this one just a little bit. Um, it's a VOL versus TCal face-off. Kimball, uh, gonna be tough for Kimball to. Sorry, it's gonna be very hard for Kimball to win this one against EU because they have UC Davis commit Jackson Fay, the wide receiver corner.
Hmm.
They're looking to repeat what they did last year, but it's gonna be a fun watch for Jackson Fay and Josiah Wilson to go at it all night. Like they
Nice.
both play both sides of the ball, right? Jackson Fay is gonna look to pick off Josiah Wilson, and I'm gonna assume Josiah Wilson's gonna be over the top of Jackson Fay all night.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
All
take us away for our Oakdale Sonora match.
All right.
right.
Oakdale versus Sonora. After losing last year 10, Oakdale is looking to defend their home territory, and they have a great chance with All-SAC working section first team running back and All-State second team honors Air Force running back Wes Burford. Oakdale needs to start off strong because the rest of the season ahead of them is going to be very hard.
Yeah, I was just um with Oakdale, like winning these games at the beginning of the year is going to be so helpful for them going into league
Hmm.
because like their league is so hard. It's a very dominant league in Central Catholic and
Yeah.
Manteca and Patterson is up. Like these schools are like it's hard to play against. They're all very good and every game is like a championship game.
Right. They're always, separated by like one loss. And
That
there's more than likely there's always a tiebreaker involved when these guys get together. And it's always just hard-nosed football. When you get Central Catholic, Manteca, Oakdale, these guys that just get in there and just pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball. So it's
yeah,
always been like that. It's always going to be like that.
yeah. And so being able to have these games that you're feeling good, right? And they don't go anything towards league on winning league, but if you're able
Right.
to figure out your offense, you feel great.
Right.
Um, so we got two left. Mountain House versus Lathrop. Uh, Mountain House lost this one to Lathrop 27-12. They're gonna need to get off the right foot. Having home field advantage and having the home crowd might do something for them. But I can't imagine it's gonna be that much. They finished 0-6 in league last year. Like their Mountain House is just not a good team. They didn't win a game. They went 0-10.
Oof.
So I don't know about that one. So and then the last one is gonna be Sierra and Enox. Sierra being the only VOL team on the road for week one. Um, having tight end Anthony Chapman, who also goes by AJ, with them on offense is going to help beat Enox. They didn't play at all last year. But Chapman has had a couple of very big visits as well, like BYU and Utah. He went out there, went up to San Jose State, and went up there on a couple of visits. So he's a guy.
Yeah.
And so looking at the records, the record went out and posted an article I believe last week on their top 25 guys to look at. He was there. He has
Yeah.
the visits. He's
Hmm.
he's just a dog. So
Nice. So, all right.
so with that, we're gonna go over who we think is gonna win the VOL, and then we're gonna wrap this one up. Um, looking at last year, Manteca swept it all. 6-0. Central Catholic came in second, Oakdale, and then Patterson. Um, I think the real game is gonna be that Central Catholic Manteca game. I think that's going to be the decider. I don't know if only having Wes Burford is going to do it for Oakdale. You might
Mm-hmm.
be able to see an upset over a Central Catholic. But I think that Manteca Central Catholic game is really going to be the decider this year.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I'm unsure where that game is being played. I think I want to say it's in Manteca. Nope, I think it's in Modesto. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna think that I think it's gonna be Central Catholic this year.
I like that too.
Ooh.
I think home field advantage plays a big part especially when you've got these tight games. But I'm going with Central Catholic this year to win
Carson, what
my
are you
division.
thinking?
Yeah, I like how Alvin he mentioned the home field advantage. It's pretty big. Like at one moment you could be winning, and then next second, like 70-yard bomb downfield. The whole tone just shifted from one side to another, and that could decide the game.
Absolutely.
So,
Having any sort of momentum on your side is so helpful. I mean, we know both teams. We've seen both teams have a 70-yard bomb in a game. Doesn't matter if it's on the floor. Manteca's more floor heavy,
hmm
pounding the rock. They can break one loose because that O line is always so big.
Hmm.
yeah,
And we know Central Catholic can do it through the air. They always have one
Yeah.
or two really fast receivers every year. I think this game comes down to the trenches on both sides of the ball.
yeah.
So that'll do it here from episode one. Again, my name is Drew Smith here with Karsten and Alvin Moodliard. Thank you, everybody. This is going to try and make this a weekly thing every Tuesdays. Where we're going to try and do this, talk about the previous week and talk about the week ahead. So, and as we transition to basketball, we'll be making stuff up like that. Hopefully, we're getting guest speakers on pretty soon. We're going to be looking those to come out on Friday or Saturdays, whatever they fits us the best and fits coaches the best and players and stuff like that as well.
We're looking for athletic directors, coaches, head coaches, athletes that want to come on.
hmm
So stay tuned. And uh, anything else, Drew?
I think that's it. Our contact will be our email will be in the descriptions on both of whoever you listen to on YouTube or Spotify, wherever you're at. They will be there. Or if you guys know us personally, go ahead and shoot us a text. We are more than happy on getting you on and talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. If that's all you guys got, that's all I've got.
That's it.
Perfect. Share this to everybody you guys know. We'll see you next week.